How do you play a chaotic character? So I saw a question on Twitter from another dungeon master, and here it is asking, as a PC, how do you all play chaotic characters? I have a hard time with it. I am a cleric of Chord as a PC, but tend to play more neutral good than chaotic good. First, let's talk about how not to play a chaotic character, because this is what you will normally see at a table when people play chaotic characters. They will automatically assume that a chaotic character is basically crazy, or that no matter what the party does, they have to do the opposite, or they have to break the law. And nothing could be farther from the truth. Now, if you're playing something like Adventures League, fortunately you can't play a chaotic evil character, which probably would be insane, breaking the law, killing the party, and everything else. But you can still play chaotic neutral or chaotic good. Now, even with the chaotic neutral character, which is what most players will opt to do, you're going to see a lot of really, what's the best way to put it, really stupid play. You're going to see people who decide, well, I'm a rogue, I'm chaotic neutral, so I'm going to steal from my party members, or I'm going to lie, cheat, steal, whatever. They're just going to go totally off the rail. And they end up doing more chaotic evil stuff than anything else. And honestly, if they're one of those players that does that, as a DM, you should probably flip their alignment, tell them they're an NPC, and they have to roll a new character. And if they continue creating chaotic neutral characters and doing things like that, there comes a point that they become disruptive, and you have to ask them to leave. But it's always a problem with a chaotic character at the table unless someone really knows how to play it without being the selfish jerk character who, let's say, one of the characters picks up a magic item and they're like, well, I want it. And the table had already decided, that's the person that needs it, it'll be best in their hands. So what happens? They pass the note to the DM. They roll stealth. Then they roll the pickpocket and they steal it. This is disruptive play. It should never be allowed at a table. And honestly, if I have a player like that, I'm not going to have them playing at my table for very long if they don't change how they're playing the game. Here's the biggest thing that they usually say. Oh, you can't stop me, you're ruining my fun. And the reality is, their fun is usually ruining the fun for 5 other tables at the player. They don't find it amusing that this guy steals their gold, steals their stuff, threatens, if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm going to kill you. These are all things that I see chaotic players do that should never be done. And we should never, as DMs, allow a player to ruin the play of all the other players at the table as well as yours. So it comes down to this person either has to cool it or they leave. I'm not going to lose other players at the table to make somebody who is just playing like an antisocial idiot happy. It's just not going to happen. Now, to get back to the question of how to play a chaotic character, let's take a look at how they define the chaotic neutral and chaotic good alignments. We're not even going to talk about chaotic evil because, that is the true psycho nut job who doesn't belong in a party. They really don't. So let's take a look at that. First, let's take a look at the definition of chaotic good in the player's handbook for 5th edition. Chaotic good. Chaotic good creatures act as their conscience directs, with little regard for what others expect. Copper dragons, many elves, and unicorns are chaotic good. Alright, so this is probably where a lot of people go awry with chaotic good characters. They see that they act as their conscience directs. So this doesn't mean that you have free reign to just do whatever you want. It's more of a situation where you're going to act according to your feelings. Let's say you're that chaotic good rogue who is not really a thief, but you may use your skills to feed the poor or feed the hungry. So you're breaking the laws to do good to help other people. A chaotic good character may do something like that. If you are playing with characters who their lawful alignment directs them to do things that you disagree with, you would act according to your conscience. You may not believe that executing or the thief or cutting their hand off is the right thing to do. So maybe you will do something to break them out and let them escape rather than be punished what you consider an unjust punishment for their crimes. Where chaotic good gets misplayed is that people mistake that they have to always be doing the opposite of what the group does, or they always have to be doing not obeying the law. It's more a matter of you're going to do what your conscience says is the right thing to do. Maybe a lawful good character would never lie because it's against their creed, but the chaotic good character would lie to save someone from a terrible fate. So you're not doing bad things. You're not stealing from people because that's what my alignment says I would do, which is not what chaotic says. You may steal to help someone. You wouldn't steal because I want that shiny object. That's totally different. Being chaotic good does not equate to just doing whatever you want. And that's where people really make mistakes. You do what you think is the right thing to do, regardless of what the law is or what your party agrees with. So this is not free reign to just do whatever you want and say, it's what my alignment would do, because your alignment is not saying that you're going to do bad things like steal from the party or steal from the church, because those are bad acts. You're going to do the things that you feel are right to help people because you're good. So sometimes you may have to steal to help somebody. You may have to break the law to help somebody because you understand that when laws are absolute, they are unjust. So that is your understanding and that is your alignment. You're not there to be the group jerk. You're there sometimes to guide them away from rigid lawful beliefs and things like that. So just remember that. You're not the group jerk. You are sometimes their conscience that their own guidelines don't allow them to have. Now, let's take a look at chaotic neutral, because chaotic neutral is where I see the most trouble. And I'm sure if you DM or play, you see these chaotic neutral characters. They're the ones that are going to say, I'm going to steal this from that guy because that's what my alignment would do. And then maybe the reality is you rarely see them doing anything good. A neutral character has to do good and a little naughty. A little good, a little naughty. You have to play a balancing act to stay neutral. If all you do are bad things, you're going to become chaotic evil. In Adventures League, you become a non-playable character. If you do nothing but good things, you're chaotic good. Get over it. Enjoy it. Be the group's conscience. Let's read what the chaotic neutral alignment specifically says. Chaotic neutral creatures follow their whims, holding their personal freedom above all else. Many barbarians and rogues and some bards are chaotic neutral. Alright, so this is what gets people into trouble. With chaotic neutral, that is the most common alignment that you're going to hear somebody say, that's what my alignment would do when they're doing something bad, like stealing from the party or just committing some heinous act because, well, I'm neutral. I can do bad things. In all honesty, yes, you can do bad things, but there are levels of bad that you can't offset. So if a player does something that's so heinous that everybody at the table cringes, there's a good possibility that that's a chaotic evil flip and you got to do it. So, don't let players use chaotic as an alignment, as an excuse for doing things that no one at the table is comfortable playing around. And again, I go back to, I know there are going to be so many people that act like, the best way I can equate it is when you go out and you have your little kids playing soccer and the parents are yelling, just let them play, when the kid's doing things that you're not supposed to do, like slide tackling at that age. And they're like, just let them play, instead of carding them and making them get the hell off the field and teaching them you can't do whatever you want to do when you're playing a game. And the same thing goes for D&D. The just let them play mentality has no place at a table. Somebody that's doing things, which it's almost always going to be the chaotic neutral guy. They're going to do things that are just stupid. That's the character that when you're talking to an NPC and you need to get information out of them, they just go, I attack them. Why? Because I felt like it. It's my whim. They play the whole, they follow their whims thing to the extreme. And you can't play these things to the extreme unless you are on an alignment extreme, like a chaotic evil character, which is not allowed in organized play. Those guys, they're going to be your Harley Quinns. They go batshit crazy, or they're jokers. They go nuts, they do what they want, they wreak chaos, and they don't care about the rest of the table. Chaotic neutral character, they're going to have to do good. They're going to have to do some bad things once in a while, but not heinous things. They're not angels, they're not demons. They sit in the middle. Honestly, a neutral character is a normal human being. A chaotic character is going to be a little more selfish, but they're not going to do wrong things all the time. So that's what you need to remember when you're talking about chaotic play. Chaotic, in my opinion, has always been about feelings. So, your character will play according to their feelings. Now, if those feelings are nothing but homicidal maniac, that character needs to be put aside and never played again. If that character maybe is okay with killing once in a while, and then other times randomly saves somebody that nobody would expect them to want to save. Not because, oh, that's an evil guy, I'm going to save them because they're just like me. No, they're going to randomly do things that you may not expect, and the rest of the time, they're just going to play like a normal, selfish human being, because most humans are neutral. That's the best guideline that you can go by. Look at the average guy they're neutral. They're not an angel, they're not a bad guy. The chaotic human is a little more selfish. Yeah, maybe he'll steal some paper clips from work because he's too cheap to go out and buy them. I'm not advocating doing that either. But that's what a chaotic neutral character is going to do. They're going to be a little more selfish. They're going to think about themselves more than others. They're the guy who says, hey, can you come help me move? And you help them move their stuff from one apartment to another. And then when you call them up, they're like, I'm too busy. I'm watching a football game. They got what they wanted out of you. They're not going to help you out. But we all know a lot of guys like that. They're not evil. They're just jerks. So the chaotic neutral character can be a jerk, but they can also randomly surprise you and do nice things. They feel bad down the road because, I probably should have helped them move. So let's go over and let's invite them over for dinner and, cook something nice, take them out for their birthday. You never know what they're going to do. That's the chaotic neutral character. But like I said, it's nothing horrible that they do, and it's nothing angelic that they do. They're just a guy. They're just a little more selfish than normal guys. So that's the way you would play a chaotic neutral character, like that guy who won't help anybody else move, but he wants to ask other people to move. All the nice people come and help, and they're like, yeah, we know the guy's a jerk, he'll never help, we'll ask, and all that kind of stuff. That's your guy. He's not horrible. He doesn't go maim people and eat babies and that kind of stuff and then say, oh, I'll donate to the church to make up for it. That doesn't make up for it. So, that's your guideline. Your chaotic neutral character is basically a selfish, normal guy, which you're going to run into. Play it like that. And a chaotic good guy is sometimes look at them like the moral guidepost for the party. Because, like I said, you have the paladin that says, they stole, we have to cut their hand off. And he's like, that's a little bit extreme. Yeah, he stole, but we're not going to cut the hand off. Maybe you should do a little time in jail. No. So you're going to let him go and make the paladin angry, but it doesn't matter. You do the right thing. You do good things because you feel that some things are extreme and you don't abide by that. So that's why, the chaotic good guy, he's not a bad guy. He's not a thief. And if he is, he's doing it for the right reasons. Like I said, he's stealing to feed the poor or, anything like that. Just remember, chaotic doesn't mean psychotic. And that's the biggest issue. People don't understand, the chaotic character is a fun character to play. Yes, you can play according to your whims if you're chaotic neutral. Yes, you can be the moral guidepost for the party if you're chaotic good. Both of those are fun to play. Neither of those are extremes, and neither of them are ever disruptive. Like in my example with the paladin wanting to cut somebody's hand off, yeah, you might make him unhappy, but who cares? His rules are idiotic. Because you're chaotic good, you understand. His rules are extreme and idiotic. You're not going to abide by that. So, hopefully this answers the question, how do you play a chaotic character? Just don't play it as a psycho. Chaotic neutral, it's a balancing act. You're not horrible, you're not an angel, you're right in between. You're just a selfish guy that doesn't help your buddies move. But you want them to help you move. Chaotic good, you are a good guy. You help people. Sometimes the way you help them may be outside the law, or sometimes the way you help people may be outside of party members, what they believe. But you are, in my opinion, the moral guidepost of the party because you don't believe in extreme punishments and, you don't think that it's bad to maybe break a silly law to help people that are really in need. But that's it for today. Hopefully this answers the question of how do you play a chaotic character. If you agree, disagree, whatever, go down below and make some comments. Let me know what you think. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So, thanks again. You have a great day.